Tweeter89, and welcome to another foray into Final Fantasy XIV. Today I'm going to be doing a beginner's suggestion or guide on how to set up your HUD. And so let's get started. Go to HUD layout, and we're going to just go right down the list. I play on the cross hotbar. I ignore all of those. Ignore the pet, the cross hotbar. Depending on, usually it's too big or too small. Click in R3 and it enlarges it or shrinks it. I like mine pretty small. Then go to the left one, the left cross hotbar, and the right cross hotbar. Let's do it right about there. Let's go back up to the left. There. The progress bar. I don't usually use that, so I don't pay much attention to it. So shrink it at about there. Alright, the target bar. This is a biggie. You want this pretty damn big, because this is your enemy that you're fighting. So I usually enlarge it and have it, if you go up too high and you need to be able to see your cross hotbar, it's kind of a pain in the ass. So, especially if you're on a larger TV. So I bring my target bar closer down into about the middle of, not so much middle, middle to upper part. Alright, the focus target bar, this is one of the most important ones. I definitely enlarge this one, and I have it dead center in my face. Can't miss it, because this is the one that usually lets you know what the enemy is doing, so you can act accordingly. Scenario guide, just up and out of the way. Shrunk. And then we're going to go back and fine-tune everything. Alright. I usually play as a healer. And it's kind of... it doesn't work well to have your party all the way in the upper left. Whenever I need to be able to see my party, because I have to cycle with the D-pad, I move my party list over here because I'm staring at that focus target bar. So don't need it that big. Bring it over here to where it's more in my face. The alliance raid, you need to be able to see that. We'll just move it over, we'll shrink it, and we'll move it over here just to get it out of the way, as well as alliance raid 2. Alright, the enemy list, I bring over here to where it's more in the middle of the screen, shrunk, because it's going to go from up all the way down depending on how many enemies you got, so you got to make sure you have plenty of room. Alright, the parameter bar, I shrink. Oh, we can actually enlarge this one. I usually don't look at that one because I'm staring up at the party list. Experience bar doesn't need to be at the middle of your screen, so I move it over here and out of the way on top of the chat log. Status info. Alright, this is where I really change things up personally. Go over here to the UI element setting. And you, on the layout, choose display as a single element. And I do normal. Let's see. Normal. and then save. Bring it all the way over here and have it on top. Have it to the right. Or, no. Have it on top of your party list. Sorry. I'm trying to remember how I have it on my main character. Right about there. And then it'll line all the way across. The mini map. I shrink. Make it more aesthetic and move it all the way up to the upper right. Notices. Out of the way over here. To the right. Where's that? The main menu. Right underneath the notices. Duty list, I move over to the left side. And you need to have it a little farther down because whenever you're in an instance, it will display all the information for that specific instance above it. Server info, I shrink. And just tighten it up a bit. Gil, I move over here with my experience bar. Shrunk. Inventory grid, I also move it over here on the experience bar. But we're gonna exchange, we're going to switch it with the Gil. Put the inventory grid up and put the Gil above the inventory grid. Item help. Moved over here. Action help. Right over there with the item help. And I overlay it on that. The limit gauge, I actually keep down here. Right at the bottom. It looks too tight for my... We'll move ahead. We'll go ahead and move it right here, actually, next to the experience bar. The beast gauge. This is for your class, and as of now, I am a marauder, which will turn into a warrior. You don't need to be. You don't need. It's not one of those to where you need to be able to see it the whole like very clearly, constantly throughout the battles. It's one that can be. All the tanks can be left over on to the left side. New game plus. Move up here. Alright, now we're going to go back through and just tighten it. What is that? Parameter bar? Parameter bar. Okay, moved down. Then come back up to the cross hotbar, bring down. Left cross hotbar, bring down. Right cross hotbar, bring down. Progress bar, good, right there in the middle. Target bar, perfect where it's at. Double checking, okay, that's good. Focus target bar, good, right in your face. Perfect place for it. Scenario guide, Let's move it right up here. Party list, perfect where it is at. Alliance list. Just tightening things up. Enemy list, let's bring it over here a little bit, because sometimes it'll go like all the way down here depending on how many enemies you got. So we don't want it to overlap with the guild or the inventory grid. So we'll move it right about here. Armor bar, experience bar, status effect, perfect where it's at. And you can adjust it whenever, if you see that it's a little off to the left or the right or up. You can adjust it later on, just at the beginning, just kind of eyeball it. Mini map's good where it's at. Notices. Let's move that here. Main menu. Let's try down here. See how that works out. You don't, your main menu doesn't pop up all the time. Do list. Titan. Server info good. Guild good. Inventory grid. I think that needs to come up a hair, so go back to the guild, bring that up a hair. Item help is good where it's at. Action help is good on top of the item help. The limit gauge. Oh, that's what I was doing. We're gonna put the limit gauge here, so that means we need to bring up the experience bar. We need to raise all of these. So the experience bar is above the limit gauge. Skill, heighten, inventory grid, raised, item help, and then we go to save. And that is my beginner's tips and tricks tutorial, and I don't know if it'll help anyone, but that's how I play. Always try to personalize it to where it helps you, because for years I kept the HUD in general where it all was at default, and I didn't realize until years later that I can move things around drastically and become a better player. Let's look at this person and focus target them. See, the focus target is right there above my name. So I'll be in the target bar on top, very much in your face, very much set in a way that you'll be able to, you know, not miss it. Well, thank you for watching, and remember to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell if you want to keep up to date with all of my latest content and activity. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll see all you little Tom Berries with lit lamps and sharp kitchen knives next time.